Excellent. Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to this third session of inclusive carbon standard training with a specific focus on developing capacity within our auditor communities. This is the third workshop that we presented in this regard with the focus on auditors. There have been a number of workshops before focusing on people who are interested in methodology development, project development, and the like. To introduce myself, I am Olivia Tuchten. I'm from a company called Prometheum, and I've got my colleague here, Kenneth.
They can see me.
So wave, Kenneth. Yeah. We, in partnership with Food and Trees for Africa, have been developing the inclusive carbon standard since about 2017 already. And for those of you who were on some of the previous calls, I don't think we need to go into the details behind why we're really developing the carbon program, other than to say our real intention and our purpose and our aim is to try and scale up the number of quality carbon offset projects that exist in the current market, locally in South Africa, but also internationally. And we really believe that there are opportunities to scale up quality carbon credit projects through the use of new technologies, whether this is a digital platform like the one that we have been developing, whether it is digital monitoring, reporting and verification, which is obviously an up-and-coming component of many carbon offset projects. There's also a lot of processes that we believe that the inclusive carbon standard has streamlined when it compared to a lot of the other legacy carbon offset programs that exist in the current market. So today, I think Kenneth will be taking you through the ins and outs of the online platform, because this really is the key feature behind the inclusive carbon standard. It is the environment which I would say 95% of the actions actually occur. This is where project developers get to develop methodologies. These methodologies then automatically generate templates in which project developers need to input information. Where there is smart meters and equipment that is connected to the Internet of Things, in some instances, activity data sets can be collected automatically and stored in the system, and the emission reduction calculations can be run within the system. And that's also a feature where there is some manual inputs. If you have traditional type of projects that don't have smart meters, don't have equipment connected to the Internet of Things, there's obviously still the ability to upload information in more of a manual format. But where possible, we want to automate more functionality in this entire process. And we believe that the streamlining of processes, the use of smart technology, the automation of many of these components, that will lead to reduced effort, complexity, and time and resources on part of project developers. And our aim is that that should have a knock-on effect on the auditing requirements for these types of projects. And that's why it's very, very important for our audit community to be familiar with and know how to use the online platform. So but before we jump in there, I just would like my colleagues to introduce themselves. So if I can hand over to Kenneth, I think then we can hand over to Serena, Robert, and also Simone from Food and Trees.
So, hi everyone, I'm Kenneth from Prometheum. I've been involved in the project for a couple of years now, so in various aspects, from writing documents as well as testing the platform.
Hi everybody, I'm Sarina Jordan. I've been with Prometheum and the ICS for almost a year now. I have a chemical engineering background and I focus a lot on methodology development and also on technical support for developing and further improving the platform.
Hi everyone, my name is Robert. I'm here representing the software development team in case there are any support questions or feature suggestions today.
Hi everyone, I'm Simone Ratnam from Food and Trees for Africa. My role in the ICS has been mainly stakeholder engagement, liaison, and comms.
Okay. I'm going to share my screen and jump into the presentation. Okay. Okay. So this is just an outline of the schedule so far. So we've talked about in previous sessions what the ICS is, what sort of the principles that underlie it are. The last session, we went through what the Auditor's Manual is and sort of the general structure and key themes behind it. And then in this session, we're going to look specifically at the online platform. We're going to cover several different topics, such as what your user profile is, what the different roles and permissions are available on the system, just a general structure and navigation, where to find and notifications. We'll also look at the auditor dashboard and then how you'd navigate to view methodologies or projects. And then the next 3 sessions will be focused more on the practical side of approval of component methodology, the validation of a project, and then a verification of a monitoring report. So this is the same agenda that we just looked at. So to start off with, the homepage of the website is this inclusivecarbon.org. So you can go onto the website there, and there's a button to register on the platform or log in if you already have. That link then takes you to app.inclusivecarbon.org. This is the ICS online platform. So this will be where you register or log in to do the different audit functions. So to register is quite easy. You'll be shown a form like this. You'll fill in your details and you'll receive an email just confirming that your details are correct. And then you can log in and the login screen will look like this. Okay, then once you've logged in, you'll be shown this screen. So you can navigate to various different parts of the platform from the screen. On the left, there's the menu. But if we look at the user profile, your name will be on the top right. And if you click on your name, that'll take you to your actual profile and you'll be shown this information. So there's different portions to the screen. So the first is your specific details. This is what you've registered the platform with. It allows you to edit the details, maybe your phone number's changed, as well as change your password. Then it shows what company the user is associated with. So this would generally be the auditor company you're affiliated with. And then we've got the details of what roles you have within that company, whether it's the authorizer for the company or just an auditor initiator, which we'll cover now. And then you can also see whether your account is listed as active or not. And if we look at the roles and permissions, so there's 3 different roles that are within the auditor companies. on the system. So you first have an auditor authorizer. This is the main user for the organization. You have an auditor initiator, and then you also have an auditor observer. So the main user fulfills sort of the function of overseeing the organization. So they have the permissions to manage the admin around the organization. So they can add and remove users as required, as well as edit the permissions those users have. And then it also lets you edit the company information. And then also the main user can view and edit the audits, and they're also the only user that with permissions to submit the audit once it's finished to go to the EIC. And if we look at the auditor initiator, this is likely the role that will do most of the audit work. The role can view all the reports and the audits, but it also has the permissions to edit the audits itself, so they can provide comments where necessary. And then lastly, the observer role just allows the user to view the different audits and reports. Yeah, so some navigation. Let's see. I'll get this to. Okay. So on the left, you'll click the hamburger. That's these 3 lines. That'll bring up your menu on the left. There's many different items under here on the left that'll allow you to go to the different pages on the platform. And they are categorized into various sections such as governance or methodologies. When you log in as an auditor, there's an audit subcategory as well. And then also what's very useful is at the top here, we've got what we call breadcrumbs. So this will track so if I go governance and then go to the auditor directory, we'll have that trail at the top here. And it'll allow you to click on any one of the items in the trail to jump back to that page. Okay, I think we covered where to find the documents in the last presentation as well. That's just what the screen will look like, and it'll have all the documentation there. Then if we look at the notifications, so the system is set up to provide notifications whenever there's something that your user needs to do. You'll also get an email with the notification. But the notifications are found next to your profile on the top right. You can click on the notifications, and then that brings up this drop down here. So this is sorted by the most recent, so it'll show a few of the most recent ones. And if there's a lot of them, you can also click view all, and then it'll provide you a nice table with what the subject of the notification is, brief excerpt of the message, and then when it was sent. And this will give you all the notifications your users received. Okay, so navigating to the public available methodologies. So in that hamburger menu, you'll go to methodologies, and then there's an item called methodology directory. This is the page that shows all the methodologies that are publicly available. So they've gone through the approval process and can be used by project owners. And then for projects, that's a similar process. It's under the projects category, and you click on the project directory. And if we look at the audits, there's an audit subcategory. So there's several different items under this menu. You've got the dashboard, which we'll go to in a minute. And then you can go straight to any methodology approvals that you might be auditing at the moment, any of your validation audits and your verification audits. So it's quite useful to be able to jump directly to whatever you need to work on. Okay, then just the structure of what the methodology directory looks like. It's got the name of the methodology, the brief description, what sort of category is it, so whether it's emission reductions or emission removals. who the company was that created it, and then what the status is. And then there's some actions where you can go and view the component methodology. You can also download it as a PDF. The public project directory is set up in a similar fashion. We've got the name and the title of the project. You've got what type of project it is, whether it's a normal project, a landmark project, or an example project. It shows who the owner of that project is, and it gives a description. And then also if it shows the public comments that may have been received on that project when it was in the public commenting period. And if we go to the auditor dashboard, this is likely the screen that you'll see when you log in. You can see at the top there's a dashboard as such, which shows how many approvals you have currently active and then how many validation or verification audits. And then over here, under each of these headings, any active audits will be listed here, and you'll be able to enter those audits quite quickly and easily from this dashboard. If we look at, so if you click on one of these and say view all, it'll take you to a screen where it'll list all your current component methodology audits. So it might be quite long to view in the dashboard if you've got a number of audits ongoing. So you'll then be able to view them just related to the type of audit that you're looking at. And then the different types of audits will have a similar screen. And I think was it. Apart from the next training session will be more of a practical of how to go about the approval of component methodology and everything that's involved there. Are there any questions? I can't see anything.
No questions in the chat.
Wondering for some of our attendees who have been with us for the last couple of sessions. I know Essen and Hava have. Silindile, I'm not sure if you have been in some of our previous sessions. Have any of you had a chance yet to log on to the system, see what's there? If you have had, we'd really love to know your experiences. Okay, well, I'm going to take a silence as a not yet, and do hope that you will get around to obviously logging in and seeing what it looks like. And you are absolutely welcome to please let us know if you have any questions or queries, and we will definitely try and assist you with them. Thanks, Silindile. So with that, a very, very short and quick session. Thank you, Kenneth. If there are further questions, you are also on other matters, perhaps related to the standard or the auditor manual, please do let us know. And Hava, yes, absolutely. Simone, will you be posting the presentations on the website? I think I've seen some of them there before.
Yes. So all the presentations, the recordings, will all be on the website. I'm just going to put the link in now in the chat.
Fantastic. Thanks, Simone. Yeah, I think the next few sessions will be a lot more interactive. So I hope that there'll be a lot of engagement, hopefully a lot of questions about why is this like that, or can't we do it a different way? Because really what we're looking for is ways of improving our online platform, and also any ways of improving the principles or processes or considerations that are in the inclusive carbon standard itself, as well as our supporting documentation, like our auditor manual. We really are open to any comments that you might have, and we would thoroughly encourage robust discussions on it. There's nothing that cannot be discussed. There's nothing that is set in stone. If there are questions, queries, we really do want to have those conversations with you.
Olivia, perhaps we can ask at this point, just in general, and you know, your answers can be high level as well, but are there any specific expectations or maybe wants or features that you would like to see or expect from a system such as this to specifically make your lives as auditors a bit better or easier? And I think the reason we ask this now is also going into the next sessions, we can then also perhaps focus on these areas and really show you where, you know, if it exists, these things can maybe aid in your work as auditors of carbon projects. Okay, so our audience is shy. We'll just surprise them next week.
Yeah. I see there is a question from Essen in the chat saying that they're not registered. Can they just log on to the platform to see the interface?
I think so.
Yes. Yes, please do try it out. Go to can we have that URL again? Maybe we can put it in the chat. It was inclusivecarbon.org.
I think you can register. That link to the platform also lets you register.
Okay, excellent.
There should be a button to
Yeah.
register on there.
That
check.
Simone has already popped in the chat. Yeah.
You can register from that link. And when I did it earlier to test it, something else, it doesn't require you to register as a company to view like the layouts and that. You can register as an individual, and as far as I know, your user can then be added to a company afterwards if it needs to be. But Robert may be a better person to answer that question.
Well, please do give it a try. Yeah. Yes, Robert.
Excuse me, Kenneth, what was the question?
So they're asking if they can log in just as a user to view the interface. And when I logged in, when I registered earlier with a different email, it didn't ask me to upload anything related to a company. And I could still see like the menu layout and stuff like that.
Yeah, yes. And to do the really fun stuff, you have to register as a company.
So if you can register as a company, even better. But we definitely appreciate it if you can register as individuals. Okay, I think with that, should we call it a day, and we will catch up next week, Tuesday, same time, I believe.
This Thursday.
Sorry, this Thursday.
Yes.
So sorry. There is that. Already on the weekend. Okay, thanks.
Thursday 10.
Thursday at 10. That's right. Okay, not same time.
I hope to see you all in a very practical session on Thursday then.
Yes. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.